Good morning, everybody. It's April 29th. Can you believe it? 2024. What are you doing today? Me? I'll show you. First of all, I gotta turn my camera around. I'm making these. They're hexagons. Nice little mats to put your coffee. Even a nice plate. Like, say, for instance, you're having your tea time or whatever. So I'm going to put that back over there. So I may have reference to that. So I'll put this one over here. Okay, so how do I make these? I take no credit whatsoever on making these. The pattern was derived from going to YouTube and looking for patterns for quills, etc. And I came across this sweet little lady who was making these little cute little plate holders, and all she did was get some cardboard or cardstock and made a hexagon. They sell hexagon templates, so you don't have to go to the extremes like I did. But this is the pattern. See this pattern right here? You need to have one of those, I think they're called compasses. I don't know what they're called, but they make little, arches. Well, it's all on. It's better if it's too much for me to try to do this and show you. It's going to take too much time. Buy yourself a template. For me, it was easier to do it this way. This is your main pattern for the inside of the beginning of your hexagon. So let's place that away. You're going to also need to cut 5 centimeters width and 22 centimeters long. You're going to need to cut 18 strips. And I also have solid colors as well. So first thing you need to do is find the centerpiece that you want to start with. So I'm going to go to my little stashy here, and I'm going to pick out a little small square that I have a whole bunch of. That's another project. All that noise you hear is the lady upstairs who's been doing that for a lot of years. I've told the manager, but I don't know why he doesn't do anything. Anyway, that's why it's good to record things. So I'm going to take my cutting board. That's what this is. It's a plastic cutting board. You're going to take your template, and you want to, there's going to be lots of strings everywhere. We have the wrong side. This is the right side, the wrong side. I'm going to set my template down. And I'm going to, oops, I just marked my sewing machine. And I'm just going to mark this template with the outline, because this is your main piece that you're going to do all the beginnings of the hexagon. This is a 6-sided hexagon. Once you've done that, you can safely put your hexagon away. There's the pattern. I'm going to get my rotary cutter, and then I'm going to cut all 6 sides. Be careful. This is a sharp object. It has a safety latch, so I immediately place it in safety so I don't cut myself. And you want to match that with the line you just created. You're going to do a lot of cutting and a lot of ironing. But for me, I'm going to do a lot of finger pressing and then iron as I need to iron. Okay, throw those pieces away. Move my cutting and my ruler, and now I've got my beginning of my hexagon. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can move my light a little more out the way. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a sewing machine, and I better check my bobbin just to be on the safe side. Oh, this is hard for me to open up. I'm going to check my bobbin. I've been sewing so much. Yeah, see, I'm almost out of, actually I'm out of, oops. Let me get rid of that. I'd rather start with a new bobbin. I don't want to, you know, all that stays stuck on my hand. You get a lot of static electricity when you're sewing a lot. There it goes. So let me wind up the bobbin with some new, let me get rid of this old one. There's another bit of, I didn't pay attention. It's a different color. I'll get rid of that one too. Okay, I'm going to wind up my bobbin and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've winded up my bobbin, placed it in my bobbin case. This one has a little spring on it. It is a very unusual sewing machine. I've never had a sewing machine like this before. And then place it inside your bobbin casing till you hear it click. And now I'm going to go ahead and thread my machine. Everybody's machine is different. This is the Baby Lock Serenade. So make sure they go into the tension plate or disc. So every sewing machine has its directions. I'm going to cut that. I did my maintenance on my sewing machine this morning. I cleaned everything out. Got my bobbin thread. And then I always test my sewing machine to make sure that it's running. What did I do with that piece? Oh, throw it away by accident. Get a piece of material and then test your machine to make sure everything is running smoothly. Okay, I'm checking the tension. Beautiful. Now it can go in the garbage. I don't need it anymore. I'll place my table back on. Okay, so now we have our sewing machine ready for what we're planning on doing. Move that out the way. I'm going to keep my rotary cutter and that close by. So the first thing you want to do is you got your hexagon there. You want to get your first piece of material. So I'm going to pick out a piece of material and I am going to place it. It could be here, it could be there. I want to start at this point. See where the hexagon has the point? I'm going to place that right on that. The only thing I'm going to do, actually I'm going to go on the longer end, which is this flat side here. That's more longer because that side is shorter. Okay, I'm going to mark it right in the middle. And that's where my starting stitch is going to be. So I'm inserting my material in, lowering my presser foot down, lowering my needle position down. I have my needle at 1/4 of an inch, which they call a 1/4 of an inch, seam allowance. Stop, trim that off my threads. Normally you would take this to the sewing machine, iron and press it, but I'm going to do a lot of finger pressing. So it's really important that you start that very first piece the way I just showed you. Half of it has been sewn. If you notice, the other half hasn't been sewn. Now I'm going to take this piece and fold it over like this. Finger press it. And that one more piece. I'm going to get my blade, my ruler, and I'm going to look at this green hexagon, and I'm going to lay that ruler right on there. And when you notice that you do that, you see this blue pieces sticking out. So you want to get your rotary blade and cut that piece off. Now you have a new piece. You could take this piece, you could iron it if you like, or what they call press. I'm going to bring this a little closer to me. It's too far away. I'm going to press that. Now I'm ready for my next piece. I'm going to go ahead and pick out another piece. Let me see, what do I have here? Here's a piece of gray. Now they don't have to be this big, but that's what I did. And now I'm going to lay it over that piece I just cut. See, the blue is here, and I'm going to start my stitch way up there. And now I'm going to stitch it all the way from that blue end to this end. Again, don't forget, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. It's really important that you're going to do every single stitch at 1/4 of an inch. My machine has a dual feed system. See this extra? If I lift this up, you see this extra boot? That is the dual feed system. That means that it helps my material go across much better. So I'm gonna, and I also have an automatic pair of scissors that cuts that thread off. So if you're fortunate enough to have those, use them. Now I'm gonna fold this over, just like I did the first piece, and I'm going to just finger press it, or you can take it to your iron and just press it. It's really all up to you. Now, in the beginning, when I first started, I was literally marking it like this. So if you feel that you're not quite ready to just go ahead and cut that, you can mark it. That's really up to you. So let me line that back up with my rotary blade and just cut that gray piece of material off. Now I'm going to get another solid piece. I have really bad allergies, I apologize. And let me pick that piece up. Now remember, these are all 5 centimeters wide and 22 centimeters long. But all the pieces that I cut, I use them for some other projects. Again, I'm starting at that point way over there, and I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and sew all the way across. And I'm utilizing the little scissors on my sewing machine. I'm going to fold that over. You could finger press it, cut it, whichever way you feel comfortable. Press that. My rotary blade. Get my ruler. And I'm lining it up. Your guideline is the green. Now I'm ready for the next piece, which is going to be overlaid here from corner to corner. And I'm going to pick another color of solid. Lay that right on that edge. And then if you flip that over, you're going to start your stitch right up here. So lay that flat. Start back there. I know a lot of you are wondering, why isn't she back stitching? Well, the reason why I'm not back stitching is because all this is going to be sewn down again with what they call a stitch in a ditch later on. So there really is no need for me to keep, doing back stitches. So here's the green hexagon. Laying that down, utilizing that hexagon as my guide. And you notice that little yellow piece is sticking out. And that's the only thing I'm cutting off. Now I'm ready for the next piece. And I'm going to go ahead and pick out this lighter blue, placing it right there, corner to corner, and I'm going to start way back there, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Remember, it's really important. And then I'm going to do the same thing, fold it over, finger pressing it, and now I'm going to take it to my iron and just press it again. Let's move these pieces out of the way. Get our ruler, line everything up, cut that off. I don't think I cut that very well. Cut that little corner piece off. We've got another piece to get. Another solid piece. Place that corner to corner. Slide it under my presser foot. Line everything up. Now I'm going to take it to the iron. Instead of finger pressing it, I'm going to press it right here. And press is just that. Just press. I'm not ironing it. Now here's the fun part. Remember that piece that we had sewn halfway? This is when you're going to take that piece, flip it over like that. Oops, well, we forgot to do something. We have to cut that little corner off. Otherwise, we may sew at that corner and we're going to notice a big mistake. Okay, let's get that out the way. You notice I can open it up. There's a little button, that safety switch, puts that blade away. So now take that beginning, the very first blue that we placed on, turn this over, and you're going to lay that right there. You want to open it up till you see that seam, that stitch you created, and you're going to stitch right over that. Insert your piece in, sew all the way across, stop, and trim that out. Open up your seam, and voila, you've got your hexagon first row. I'm going to take it to the ironing board, and then I'm going to press that. Turn it over, and I'm going to press it again. Okay, and you're wondering what is the next step? You got all these dingle-danglies here. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to do it. In the beginning, when I first started this, I started by, there's the gray, that is my guideline. I'm going to place my ruler on that guideline, get my marker, which is a washable marker, and then I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to turn that around, and we're going to do this to all 6 sides. The pink is my guideline now, and make a mark. Now the yellow is my guideline. Lay that ruler on the yellow, and make a line. Now you cannot see the purple with the purple. I can, but you probably won't be able to see that. The blue is my guideline. Mark my purple solid. Now my purple solid is my guideline. Make a line. And now the blue is my guideline, and I'm going to place it on the gray. When I first started, I did it this way. You could get a pair of scissors, you could cut it with a pair of scissors, it's really up to you, but I find I get a more precise cut if I use my rotary cutter. But you can use your pair of scissors. I save these long pieces for another project. I can make a smaller hexagon and make little mini hexagons. So again, now the pink is my guideline, and when I turn it around on the other side, my yellow is my guideline. Now the blue is my guideline. Now the purple is my guideline. And I'm just cutting that blue off. Now that blue is my guideline. And I'm just trimming that gray. Now remember, all these pieces are going to be another project, and I have a little container that I'm placing all these. This can be a much smaller hexagon. So let me put that over there, and look at that. We created our first tier. So I'm going to turn around and press. Press. Turn it on the other side and lock those stitches in. And I'm ready to start all over again. This time I'm going to start selecting floral prints. So remember, you have your short and then your long. You can tell this is the short because it's shorter here. I want that longer one that's right here. So I'm going to get my next piece, take that floral print, and I'm going to do the same thing like I did in the beginning. Every first one we're going to do halfway. So get my marker, make a halfway line. I'm not going to sew from the very beginning. Start right there at 1/4 inch. trim. See, it's not sewn there. So turn that over. You can use your finger press. It's all up to you. Get my rotary. This is my guideline, the blue and the purple. And for me to trim off that little corner edge. Now I'm going to get another solid color, and I'm just going to keep doing this all the way around until I get to the end. It's all up to you if you want to color coordinate this. Now you might not have different colors, you might only have what you have. Work with what you have, practice. I suggest buying or getting a color wheel. You can get free ones at any paint shop, like Lowe's. They always have free color charts if you want to know the colors and how to match color charts. Okay, so we've got that piece. The purple and the blue is going to be my guide, so I'm going to lay my ruler right over that, and then you see that orange is poking out. Bring that out, and now we're going to get a different print. We want something that has maybe a little bit of blue in it. Let me look at my different colors that I have here. I know I have something in blue. I just have to find it. There's all kinds of colors here. I have a variety of beautiful prints. Ah, I found one. I just didn't color coordinate them. In other words, I didn't, stack them up this way and that way. Okay, this blue has that little yellow, it's got green, it's got all the colors I need. So right sides together. Slide that under your presser foot, lower that down. 1/4 of an inch, it's really important if you want this to look nice and pristine. That 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Fold that over. I'm going to take it to the iron. Press that. My rotary blade. The blue and the gray is now my guiding line. And now I want to find a different. I'm looking for blues and grays. So let me look at my stash on what I have. I have a lot. I do have a lot. Let's see, what does this look like? Let me pull this one out. Look at that one. This one has all the pretty colors that we just utilized. Okay, let me push that down just a little bit. Corner to corner. Quarter of an inch. Turn that off. Finger press that to the iron. Give it a press. That gray and that pink is my guideline. By the way, I do have, this is a cutting mat, if you're wondering. This is strictly made for the rotary cutter. Otherwise, I would be cutting my table. So now, I'm going to the next one, kind of keeping an eye on all the colors I have here. And to to look. See what pretty colors I have. What can I match in there? That would match that. Oh, this is too narrow. I don't know where I got that one from. Okay. Let's see what we can play with. I know I have a plaid. I have something blue. I can't remember. I have a gingham blue somewhere. Here it is. It's a gingham blue. Lay that right over there, a little over out. Lower my needle down, line everything up. Trim that out. Finger press it, take it to your iron. Now that pink and yellow is my guideline. Straighten it up. Corner off. Now we're looking for something that has these sort of these colors. You know, you will find something if you look in your, I have a bunch of beautiful little colors here, a lot of prints, but I want to be able to look at what I have in my scheme right there. Look at that. It's going to go with the gray, because it has gray. And I'm going over, right over that edge right here, just to let you know, about 1/4 of an inch over that little corner. I don't think I mentioned that. Trim it off. Let your machine stop. Flip that over. Take it to the iron. Press. Move these pieces out of the way so you don't accidentally cut those. The yellow is my guideline. Trimming off the edge, that corner. Now, this is the fun part. Remember the very first piece we placed? Only halfway? That becomes your next piece. You have to flip these all over like that. Place that in like this. Make sure everything matches. And you're not going to get any wrinkles. You don't want to fold this. Drop your needle. Open up that seam. Trim that. And look at that. How beautiful that fits. Now I'm going to take it to the iron and press. Turn it over. Press. Look at that back of that. How flat all that lays. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before, but this time I'm not going to mark anything because I'm pretty good at this. Trim that. Go to the next side of the hexagon. Line up the blue gingham print. Turn that out. Oops. Get your print. Line it up with your print. With the next print. Trim that. On your next side. I think this one was a little too thin. I didn't pay attention to that. So that may give it a different look. And now I'm on the last trim. And then these are being saved. These can be little tiny squares, and you can make a mini little quilt. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it with the light. Is that beautiful or what? Then we have one other press. Flip it around. And we're going to start all over again. Again, I want to go on the wider part. Remember, there's the little small edges here. You want to go in the wider part. So starting here, we're going to go back to solids, bringing up some blue. I don't know if this one's going to fit. You could get these to fit. See, this one fitty. It did fitty. Even though it's a little small, it's still utilizable. Okay. So don't think that just because it's been cut that it looks like it's not going to fit. As long as they go over corner to corner. Trim. Oops. Guess what we forgot to do? We forgot to go halfway. See, that is really important to remember, to go halfway. I didn't remember. So I need to get my scissors and open up that seam. It was at the last second when I said, wait a minute, something's not right here. And when you get to that point, you're going to go, uh-oh. Because you might sew it all together and then something's not going to fit correctly. So let's open up that seam. Like I said, every new beginning, that's the only time you do this. Okay. That is the only time you do this. Okay, so open it up and press. Get it to the iron. Okay. And then don't forget, we have to trim off that corner. That print is my guideline to trim off that corner. Okay, now I'm ready for the next solid. And I'm just going to match them. I'm not going to go with any specific color. This is just a solid. Let's see. I forgot I have other colors instead of just using the same ones. I can use that for when I get on the other side. We've got this pretty peach. And I'm going to go over a little beyond that edge. Just about 1/4 inch, a little over that edge. Pick up your presser foot. Remember, they get bigger as the piece gets bigger. You will need eventually longer strips. 1/4 inch. Okay, fold it over. You get to the iron. Give it a press. Get your ruler, line it up with the print, and then trim off that piece. Now we want to look for a different color. I have this pink I keep forgetting to use. Wait a minute, let me look. It's out. Now we'll go with this one. Let me iron it up, it's all wrinkled. Oops, I get all kinds of threads. Okay, could use this darker magenta, I think it's called. Press. Trim. Find another piece. Okay. Let's see over here. I've used that one. Let me get some of this green. I do have a lot of it. I should be using this green. Oops, there's two pieces. Okay. Lay it over about 1/4 of an inch. Iron. Open it up. Press it. And then trim it off. Oh! Nope. Find your next solid piece. And I knew I had a pink somewhere, I just didn't find it. Okay, that's okay, no big deal. Just having fun. That's what it's all about. Fold it over. To the machine. Oops, I keep dropping. It's getting heavier. Be careful. Use caution. Trimming. Don't forget to place it in the lock. Okay. I have a darker glue here I want to use. That up. Get those pieces out of the way. You don't want to accidentally cut those. Okay, here's the other piece. We don't have to cut another piece. It's already there for us. Place that under there. up, press it. And turn it around, press it there too. Okay. My rotary blade and my ruler. Follow my guidelines. Okay, this one oops. This blue one's a little fatter than the rest of them, so I need to trim it. See how fast this goes when you have everything all organized? I did that early this morning. I cut all the pieces to cut down on the time. Now I want to give it one more press. These. We've got the 3 tiers done. The next thing is to get the batting. See, looks so odd, even though you know you did it correct. It just looks because of the way it is. It just looks odd. It's because the colors has nothing to do with anything else. But there are 6 sides. The colors just zoom all over the place. So next thing we need to do, pardon me, I got hiccups now. Now we need to get some batting. Okay. I'm going to utilize whatever pieces I have. And I have a lot of pieces. Okay. Here are my scissors. And then I'm going to place that piece here. Cut this piece here. Okay. Let's see, let me put that piece there. It's a way to do this so you don't waste don't waste anything. It's too small. Okay, that's gonna go right here. We're gonna fold that to double that thickness. And then this one fits here. now we have that all filled up. Put that away. Now you're going to take that and flip that up very carefully like this. You lift your presser foot as high as you can. And what we're going to do is do a stitch in a ditch right along all the 6 sides, starting in the middle. Be careful, pick this up carefully so you don't drop all your pieces. And we're going to start in the middle. Drop your needle position down. Let's see. Okay, and we're going to sew a stitch in the ditch. Let me get all this out of the way. Lift up your presser foot, turn it around. It's good when your needle is in a down position. That helps you tilt and pivot. A little bit, but that's okay. Now I'm going to pick up my presser foot and move over to the next tier. Lower my foot down and sew across that. Pivot. 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 Trim that. Now we're going to move this over to the next tier. And sew. Trim. Now you're going to the next tier and you're going to go as close to the edge, about 1/4 of an inch away. Let me get my stiletto to help it kind of move along. see that's on. And then go ahead and trim off any of these threads you see along the way. Look at that. And we tacked all those pieces that we added on. They're not going to come apart. So I'm going to remove any threads that are there. Now I need my longer rotary blade, rotary ruler, longer rotary ruler, and I'm going to trim out all this excess polyfill. Turn it around. And I'm just cutting that polyfill. That is not being thrown away. I create raggedy end dolls, so that's going to be part of the stuffing. Place that in a container. It's nice and neat. Same time. Place that in my little container. The little pieces. Now I need a backing piece. Time to turn off the iron. Well, actually, I gotta press the backing piece. I forgot. Otherwise, it's gonna be all wrinkled. Piece. You want the wrong side facing, right side facing you. I'm sorry, wrong one. And then you want the wrong side facing you, like that. That's the neighbor. She's going a little cuckoo today. And you want to get your scissors and cut that out just about 1/4 of an inch bigger than the actual piece. We can trim off this excess a little later. For right now, we just want about 1/4 of an inch bigger, and then we'll trim that all off later. And then these pieces can be used for strips. For another project, or another placement, or whatever you're going to do next. Okay? Okay, so what we want to do, it's already on right sides together. We want to get our marker, and we want to mark where we want our opening, so we turn it inside out. Okay, place that under the sewing machine. And we're going to start 1/4 of an inch away from that. Drop your needle, stitch, and then back stitch. And then stitch. Stop, pivot. Stop, pivot. at the beginning of that mark, back stitch, and then back stitch. And then trim that up. Okay, now we have all this excess. We want to get a large ruler and we want to trim all that off. Okay, so they're all trimmed. I turned off my iron because I don't want to press this because then it'll take away all the fluffiness. Now we want to take those corners and just take that top off of the corners, like so. Like so. Just cut those points off. And now you have that opening. Remember we did a back stitch, and that's so it won't come apart, and you want to start pulling this in and out, inside out. Once you do that, pull out all the corners. That's why when you trim that out, it makes it so much nicer. There. And now, let's get all this stuff out of the way. You want to take that opening, and you just want to fold it in like that. Let me cut some of this thread off. There. And you want to take that little, and you want to sew all around the edges. So pick up your best foot, lower your feed dogs down. And start sewing as close to the edge as you can. next thing you want to do is just trim off all these little edges, anything that you see that, you know, threads. And that little piece is done. Look at that. So pretty, so pretty. And you can iron this if you like, but then all that puffiness is going to go. So if you don't want that puffiness to go, just don't iron it. You may want to wash it in a low tumble, you know, easy, quick wash, and then tumble dry it by just taking it out or just letting it air dry. So I've got 3 of them plus 3 over there. I've got made 6 already. And that's how I'm keeping myself busy. So I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And you're keeping yourself busy. Not letting the day just pass you by. Not all of them are always going to be the same. Sometimes some of them are a little bigger than the others. But the thing is, I'm having fun. I'm trying to match that up with that one. I don't know where what I did here. This one came out smaller. But there it is. They're all done. It looks very beautiful. And then again, it's where you start that pattern. I started this one at the point. This one I started at the point, but this one I started at the other end. Look at them. They're cute little placemats, little mini placemats. See, the point is, okay. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday.